Now it's time for Real Talk.
Real talk.
Are you ready?
Okay, Deacon, what are we talking about?
Biblical prescription for the healing of America.
And Lord knows we need a healing. And may we first offer our sincere condolences to the families of the crash in D.C. and in Philadelphia. We're praying for America.
2 Chronicles 7:14 reads, "If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins and will heal their land."
Well, that's God. And that's exactly what he said. He said that to Moses in a response. God calls us into a relationship with him. That's what's broken. It's not about achieving perfection or following religious rules, but responding to God's invitation to a restored relationship through Jesus Christ.
Seek humanity. Put others first and gives them the benefit of the doubt. It's not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less, which is difficult because we are naturally self-centered.
But it begins by acknowledging I am imperfect and you are too. And we fall short of God's standard. That Jesus Christ is the only one who met it. So we pause before rushing to judgment and look for ways to extend grace. Knowing Jesus is the perfect example of humility we should imitate.
Prayer is more than presenting your list of wants to God.
So true.
It's entering his presence to both speak and listen. Seek his will and obey, which also counters the natural tendencies to demand our rights.
It includes personal confession and intercession. It recognizes that God is sovereign and that prayer engages God's power in mysterious and miraculous ways.
Healing of America requires repentance.
Yes, yes.
The people of Israel had a history of falling away from and returning to God.
Back and forth.
Repentance was the key difference between natural prosperity and bondage. When Israel turned their backs on God, hard times followed. When they acknowledged their sin and turned back to God, he restored them as a nation.
Repentance means to turn from and to turn to. In other words, a change of direction away from sin and towards God. More than emotion, it's an act of will, done individually, but with a profound spiritual impact when many people turn toward God together.
The good news is that God forgives. Change is possible. We individual own our part and together turn back to God. Perhaps then we'll be headed in a new and better direction.
And a healed America.
I'm telling you, America, you better obey. You better take heed to what we are saying, because some catastrophic things getting ready to happen in our country. So if you don't know God, you better get prepared to know him, because it's getting ready to happen. I'm telling you. Now that's real talk.
Be sure to listen to us on the KWAY Digital Broadcast app, KWAY-DB, and guess what?
It is free.
Yes, it is. And online at www.kwaygospel.com. And we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean Podcasts.
So please don't miss your blessings.
We'll look forward to you listening to Real Talk.